So we're gonna do no one's rushed, but let's get a quality individual like Mr. Cross here, some fine questions and good time, not necessarily a long time. All right, whenever you guys are ready.
You've seen a lot in your career, a lot of different types of matches. What kind of challenges face you when you're in something like the Battle Riot?
Oh man, it's insane. I mean, just logistical, right? There's that many guys, that many styles, that many languages, that many experience levels. I mean, you name a variable and it's present in a match like that. And that's why there aren't many like that, because it's so difficult to deal with. So when they go well, they're magic and they're not easy. So I appreciate that you almost touched on in your question how not easy they are. So yeah, it's a difficult night.
Is there anything you can kind of compare it to from other settings you've been in your career? Because you've been in a lot of them, a lot of different places and a lot of unique atmospheres.
Sure. I mean, wrestling in general is chaos. So this is just that taken to the next level, right? Like nothing in what we do is as normal or regular or not crazy. So this is just that ramped up. So it's super wrestling.
I guess to kind of jump off of that, I know with this battle royal type of structure with 40 competitors entering, I imagine it can almost get easy to get lost in the shuffle for people who are seeing your work for the first time. If you were to kind of put yourself against 39 other individuals, how would you describe yourself compared to the rest of the lineup that is entering tonight's show?
Ooh, it's almost a bit of a secret. So I don't do anything in the ring. We do it in the building. There's a synergy. We're all in there together. So I approach everything that I do in wrestling with that mindset. And I think that it then carries over into the movements. So it's not necessarily movement based, it's more of a philosophy, but I think it carries over into really minute movements. So again, that's not something I would really openly share with other competitors or other people, but I think it helps me shine because I'm not as focused on myself. It's almost like a team sort of thing for me. So we're all in there. And I think when I, again, approach with that sort of mentality, I think it is tangible to some degree. And I think people kind of connect with that and they're like, oh, this is our guy, because I am. I think a lot of these other guys are there for themselves, and it's not necessarily, you can play a basketball game and no one can be there and the results still count. To me, if there's not fans, it's not pro wrestling. So there has to be people. So, it's like, and I'm just like very keenly aware of that.
I definitely love that answer. I'm going to switch a little bit here and ask about the MLW championships. How would you rate them to like the favorite one that you want versus the least one that you'll get there soon?
I want gold at this point. So I've been here about a year. I've been tested. I mean, I think my debut was against Jacob Fatu as the champ.
Yep.
Took him to his limit. So I've really gone against like top tier talent. I believe I've taken them to their limit. I've just been this close, to capturing that gold. So it's important to me to have that. I currently hold heavyweight championships in 4 different countries. So I'm not a wrestling historian. So a nerd will have to help us out. But I genuinely don't know if anyone has ever held belts in 4 different countries at the same time. And if again, this could have never happened. So that's something that I have right now, but it's sort of lost on American audiences because it's companies in Switzerland and France and Germany. So I live in the US. I've been here for 23 years. I need to win gold here and put my stamp, on where I live, and I'll make my mark here.
I guess to kind of jump off of that, I know, when dealing with foreign countries, different kind of mentality. New York in itself, whole different kind of ball game compared to the rest of the United States. I'm a born and raised New Yorker.
Yeah.
I know when any kind of company comes from the New York area, there's a different kind of energy that's in the air. When you kind of enter the building before a show, do you kind of come in with a certain expectation as to how the fans might be or how you kind of maneuver around that?
I think there is some of that, yeah. My sister was a former New Yorker in Greenpoint for 10, 11 years, so I'd always come and visit her and go to CBGB's when it was still open and stuff like that. So I haven't been in this building before. A lot, if not most of the other guys have. What I like about MLW is the product, the presentation is so clean and so impressive. There have been times where I'm watching the screen in the back on previous shows, And I'm like, man, I want to do this. And I'm like, oh, I'm about to in 30 minutes. but I'm even taken aback and thinking I'm watching it at home and being like, oh, I aspire to be here someday. And I'm like, I'm here now. So I love when we take it to different markets because just by luck of the draw, in the year that I've been here, so many of our shows have been in Philly. And I've been going to Philly, namely the old ECW Arena, which it means a lot to me for like 20 years. But when we got to go to Dallas and we got to go to North Carolina, and that's really exciting for me. So this is I haven't been in New York in quite some time, and it's my first time with MLW. So yeah, coming in today, I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, it's something I almost in my head knew the building, even though I didn't. I assumed I did, because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be this building, we went to this building. And when I walked in, I'm like, oh, I don't know where I am, I've never been here. Like, wow, this looks amazing. Anything with a balcony from a personal standpoint, I like to have that sort of inclusive, like, crowded feeling. And it alludes to ECW to me, like anytime I'm like, it's the Melrose Ballroom, or, you know, I get back to all these like 1999 ECW pay-per-view memories. So I'm like, a balcony, yes, I just love that feel. So it definitely has the right, because buildings become a part of the product too. Like they become another cast member. They're in there with us. You know, it's like I said, if we wrestle and no one's there, to me, personally speaking, that's not professional wrestling. So you have to have wrestlers, you have to have fans, and then ideally you have a building that fits in with that model, and then it's another piece of that puzzle that's, I don't think a lot of people think about, or it's an afterthought, but I think it's like so important. So when I came in today, and just with the big screen and everything, I'm like, oh, okay, all the pieces are here. You know, now it's on us as the wrestlers, it's on the fans, but you know, from a physical standpoint, everything's in place.
Oh yeah, super cool. Thank you.
One of the things that Court Bauer mentioned coming out of the pandemic for MLW was to really raise the in-ring quality of this product. What does that mean to you, and why here now at this point of your career, this part of your journey in this company?
I think, you know, you look at some of the other guys on the roster. I mean, to me, like TJP is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Just period, full stop. You know, they were using like Alex Shelley. This is one of the best guys in the world, full stop. So we're not talking companies or this or that, or we're just talking guys that are the best at what they do. And I like how there's this mixture to me of sort of an old guard and a new guard. So you have like Calvin Tankman, and you're like, holy crap, like this dude's just gonna, you know, go up and up and up for however long he chooses. So you have that caliber of a new guy mixing with like TJPs, and I hope I'm in the same level as those kind of guys. And it's like, wow, what a interesting mix. And I don't really know if I see that anywhere else. So I think it's just like letting us have a showcase, giving us the distribution, the eyes to be like, okay, do what you guys do, because I think we are some of the best. So now here we have a place to show that.
Okay, if you guys have one more question for Mr. Cross, if you have it.
All right. So, what is your match ritual for today?
For today? Well, I didn't sleep last night, so that's the insider info. Terrible flight situations, and was up all night. So I'm gonna try to stay awake, try to time my energy drink. Let's hope that everything we talked about, that the building and the fans and the synergy is there, because it's going to come from inside, but only a little bit. Today's going to not be coming from inside as much as normal, so I'm going to be pulling from that outside external forces more than normal, and I need people there to sort of get me in the place that I need to be. So I'm hoping everything we talked about, a cool company and a cool building at a cool place and a cool time, comes together so that I can perform my best.
Thank you.
I have a feeling it'll all come together.
Yeah, I hope so.
My pick is Cross in your match.
Hey, wait, can't go wrong, can't go wrong.
Can I just grab a couple of pictures for the paper? Thank